Ladies and gents, students and studentesses, thank you so much for joining us for yet another awesome audio tutorial by Raetse Education. Now this one is based on the historical analysis of Islam and its rapid spread throughout the continent of Africa. History 2602, assignment number 2. And it's presented by our very own webmaster, TechnoWiz, and awesome Raetse Education tutor, Blessing Murauro. Thank you so much. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hi guys, welcome to my favorite subject, which is the subject of history, and today we are going to delve and dig deep into one of the most phenomenal religions in Africa, and that is the religion of Islam. This video tutorial is not meant to convert you to become a Muslim, no, but it's just a historical analysis into why Islam is like this. We are basically going to analyze why Islam spread rapidly in Africa, and I think, as you can see, the area shaded green is Islam, and this is big, whilst the area shaded red is Christianity. It's of course highly undisputable that Christianity has more followers than Islam, but the margin difference is way too small, and it just shows you that, you know what, Islam is big. It's not as we think it is. Check, Christians occupy 50.9% of the African continent, whilst Muslims occupy 43.3%. And as you can see, the margin difference is very, very tiny. It's a reflection. It's a reflection of the fact that Islam is a religion to be reckoned with, and it's very big. But why is it big? Why did it spread so rapidly? We are going to have a historical analysis as to why it spread so rapidly. So there are so many factors that led to its rapid spread. But of course, scholars and historians always debate as to which factors contributed more to its fast and rapid spread. So historians, of course, have used several models to explain why Africans converted to Islam. Some historians emphasize economic motivations, some saying that Islam spread so rapidly because of economic motivations, which we are going to talk about. But I like this school of thought. Others highlight the draw of Islam's spiritual message, in the sense that they say that Islam's spiritual message was very simple for Africans, whilst the Christian spiritual message was kind of sophisticated. It had more sophisticated practices. While, you know, other scholars and other motivations say that it is apparent that the early presence of Islam in West Africa was linked to trade and commerce. Others stress that the reason why Islam spread so rapidly was because that there were a lot of trade activities amongst the Muslims. So people who were into trade were predominantly Muslims. So in doing trade, they also passed on their religions. Other scholars highlight the fact that, yes, other scholars stress or highlight the prestige and influence of Arabic education in facilitating state building. Let me explain this point. They say that Islam's educational system empowered African societies in terms of state building. So when Islam got in contact with African societies, they empowered the kings and the leaders. They empowered black people to run their own states, as opposed to Christianity, which brought colonialism, imperialism, and white control over over African society. So it seems as if now black people, especially in this part of Africa, now preferred Islam because it empowered them. It told them, guys, you can still run your own societies. We're just going to provide you with education on how you can run a country or how you can run a society. While this Christianity was saying, no, only white people can run your society. So in doing so, you find that Islam was becoming more favorable. So I think I have offered various observations and debates, economic, some its spiritual message. So let me give you my own analysis of why Islam spread so rapidly. Some of the analyses are going to become a bit silly, but they've been consolidated by renowned scholars, and we are going to take a look into why did Africans favor Islam more than Christianity, and why they still favor Islam more than Christianity. Let's see. So one of the factors leading to the rapid spread of Islam is the nature of the religion itself in accepting polygamy. And as you can see here, we have my man. We are surrounded by beautiful women. You see, Islam was favorable to Africans in the sense that it allowed Africans to practice polygamy as opposed to Christianity. And of course, our fellow Africans were happy to have that as part of their lifestyle. Why? Because they realized that, you know, when the Islams came, the Muslims came and said, guys, we are bringing you a good religion, and this religion allows you to take that side chick that you've been worrying about to become your wife. And as you can see that, of course, she is not happy because her hands are being held by people who probably were once side chicks, and now they've become part of the family system. So the nature of Islam as a religion in accepting polygamy, and of course its tolerance of traditional African religion, its simplicity of doctrine and model of worship, helped propagators to make converts in Africa. So these factors made Islam easily adaptable to the African communities with which it came in contact with. Again, the Islamization of Africa, paralleled by the Africanization of Islam. There is what we call the Islamization of Africa, and then the Africanization of Islam. When we say Africanization of Islam, is they say that the Islam religion, it seemed as if it intertwined with African traditional practices. Like Islam allowed Africans to use muti for success and for protection against evil spirits. It still allowed Africans to consult with sangomas. It still allowed them to practice their own African traditional religion, as opposed to Christianity. We seem to say no, that is not allowed. And of course it made more Africans angry, and they said, you know what, because you guys don't allow us to marry as many women as we want, you don't allow us to practice our own African traditional religion practices, then we are going to go for Islam. So that factor is the nature of the religion itself. Let's go to the second point. So another factor leading to the rapid spread of Islam in Africa was an economic factor, and that economic factor was trade. Another major reason that led to the rapid spread of Islam in West Africa was the Trans-Saharan trade network. As you can see on the picture that we are seeing, these red lines. These red lines represent trade routes. And so it basically means that there was a lot of trade activities happening in this part of Africa. Hence, you see that Islam has a bigger foothold on this part of Africa. Why? Because people who were trading at that time were Muslims. So as they were trading, as they were following the road, they would also trade and pass on their religion. And as I said, it was because of this Trans-Saharan trade network. It was a network of traders, business people trading, and of course they would discuss and convert each other to Islam. So that's one of the economic factors. It was trade promoted by the Trans-Saharan trade network. And Islam also spread into West Africa through the activities of the Muslim clerics. Clerics means learned men or educated Muslim. So there was activities with these Muslim clerics. Another word for cleric is a pastor, so some form of Muslim pastors. These clerics or educated Muslims founded their own religious centers, which attracted students from all parts of the Western Sudan, which is in Africa, and who, on the completion of their studies and training, went back to their own homes to win converts. Many of them went on lecture or missionary tours to convert people, while others became advisors to African kings on how to become effective rulers. Some clerics devoted a great deal of their time to writing books and instructions on all aspects of Islam for the education and conversion of people, or the purification and strengthening of Islam. So you can see that these guys did a great deal of work. They set up missionary centers, they taught African people, they converted them, and once that person has been converted, he would go to his own society, convert more people, start a missionary center there. So basically these were more like a crusade or some sort, or some missionary activities that were done by these Muslim clerics. So we can put that factor as a religious factor that led to this rapid spread of Islam. So those were brief factors. More factors, you will see them in word format, not in video format, in your notes. And in those notes are also the effects, the impact that it had, because you have to understand that Islam also brought positive impacts in the sense that Islam cut across family, clan and ethnic ties and loyalties, and emphasized unity and brotherhood. Once Islam was there was brotherhood. So it means that those African states that were fighting against each other would unite. It enabled rulers to build larger kingdoms and empires, embracing different peoples and linguistic groups. It also provided them with a commonly accepted basis of authority in place of African traditional religion, which differed from place to place. So it strengthened the system of administration. Those were some of the effects that it brought, and more effects are in the notes. So please read the notes, understand them, and you are allowed to discuss with me. You are allowed to text me. What you simply do, if you want to text me, you go on our platform. If you want to give me a WhatsApp message, let me show you how it's done. And here's how you go on our platform. You just type Raetse. As you can see, I'm typing here .co.za. This is how you can WhatsApp me and communicate with me, and text me if you want us to discuss further on this interesting subject of Islam. And as you can see here, there is a WhatsApp button. You just, if you're using a phone, you can just open it, and then it's going to direct you to my inbox, and there you are allowed to text me and we can discuss further. Thank you very much for watching the video. This was Raetse.co.za. My name is Blessing and I'm a tutor. Thank you.